Ujú. Oh, mi espalda, weón. Vamos a jugar un ladrillo. Si me pongo la capucha. Ya. Shaka.
Require more minerals. forces are under attack.
La concha, tu hermana. Después de este stream tengo polola. Ojalá, hermano. Ojalá, hermano, te deseo suerte con eso. Me falta una larva ahí.
Our forces are under attack. We will require more vesting gas. Our forces are under attack.
Ah, qué lag de mierda, weón.
Our forces are under attack.
Yo me había sacado una muta, weón.
Our forces are under attack.
No, conchetu madre.
Our forces are under attack.
No puedo micrear con el lag que hay.
We require more minerals. Evolution complete. Our forces are under attack. We require more minerals. Our forces are under attack. We require more vest. Our forces are under attack.
No puedo jugar con ese lag, pues, weón. No se pueden micrear mutas en turn rate 8, pues, hermano. ¿Dónde está la cumbia? En tu corazón, hermano. En tu corazón, compadre. Deberíamos poner unas cumbias, ¿no? Deberíamos, pues. No saqué el drone, weón. Puta, no saqué el drone, weón. Me va a faltar una larva. Ah, no, están los tres, weón. ¿Cómo? ¿Cómo? ¿Por qué? La wea, hermano, weón. Era su segundo over, po, weón. La estupidez, culiada, weón.
forces are under attack. Forces are under attack.
¿En serio, hermano?
Our forces are under attack. Forces are under attack. We require more minerals. We require more minerals. We require more minerals.
¿Cómo se llama el grupo? Se llama Concord. Ah, pavo culiao. Fuck. ¡Ah! Oh, weón. El grupo se llama Te lo escribo mejor, weón. Concorde. Son franceses. Yo también pensé que perdía, weón. Son buenos los locos, weón. Puro ser, weón. Me equivoqué de ir escauteado para acá, weón. No lo pensé. Ah, bueno, me rajé. ¡Me rajé nomás! Me rajé nomás con el scout. Oh, me lo tema, conche tu madre. Tema culeado bueno este, weón. Puedo hatchery, lol.
We require more minerals. Our forces are under attack. Our forces are under attack.
¿De nuevo esta canción? What the fuck? Ah, por eso no podía micrear la weá, po.
Forces are under attack. We require more minerals. We require more minerals. Our forces are under attack. We require more vesting gas. We require more minerals. Our forces are under attack. Our forces are under attack.
Para pam, pararantaran.
We require more minerals.
Like the legend of the phoenix, all ends with beginnings. What keeps the planet spinning? Force from the beginning.
We require more minerals.
Come too far to give up who we are. So let's raise the bar and our cause to the stars. She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for the fun. I'm up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to the sun. We're up all night to get some. We're up all night for good fun. We're up all night to get lucky. 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 We're up all night to get lucky.
We require more minerals. We require more minerals.
Present has no rhythm.
We require more minerals.
Gift keeps on giving.
Minerals.
What is this I'm feeling? If you wanna leave, I'm with it. We've come too far to give up who we are. So let's raise the bar and our cause to the stars. She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun. I'm up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to the sun. We're up all night to get some. We're up all night for good fun. We're up all night to get lucky. 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 We're up all night to get lucky.
Ya voy a sacar los 6 Zerling porque si va a 2 gatas me muero, weón. What? No. No lo he visto.
Forces are under attack. Spawn more overlords. Our forces are under attack. Spawn.
No saqué el Overlord. What? Ah, sí lo saqué.
Forces are under attack. Our forces are under attack.
Como chucha, weón. But what the fuck? Tum, tururum, tum. Tengo las manos super frías, weón. Stronger. Tiene 2 pruebas afuera, weón. Oye, que hay gente conectada, weón.
I know you don't get a chance to take a break this often. I know your life is speeding and it isn't stopping. Here, take my shirt and just go ahead and wipe up on the sweat, sweat, sweat. Lose yourself to dance. 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 I know you don't get a chance to take a break this often. I know your life is speeding and it isn't stopping. Here, take my shirt and just go ahead and wipe up on the sweat,
No le quedaba.
sweat, sweat.
Sí, se había gastado.
Dance.
No, pero esta weá está bien.
Lose yourself to dance. Lose yourself to dance.
¿Cómo? ¿Por qué? ¿Esta weá gasta mucho?
Lose yourself to dance. 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 Lose yourself to dance.
Dime.
I know you don't get a chance to take a break this often.
Oye, esos palos de acá.
I know your life is speeding and it isn't stopping. Here, take my shirt and just go ahead and wipe up on the sweat, sweat,
Rain vs Saxon. Debería ver esa weá. Parece un buen juego.
I'm just feeling celebration tonight. Celebrate, don't wait too late. No, you don't stop. You can't stop.
Muy buenas a todos.
We're gonna celebrate one more time. One more time.
Oh,
One more time. A celebration. You know we're gonna do it right tonight. Hey, just feel it. Music's got me feeling the need. Yeah. Come on. All right. We're gonna
The round of 16.
오늘 이제 8강 경기를 앞두고
Hello.
안녕하세요.
Hello.
자 먼저 이영호 선수와 이야기
So,
나눠보겠습니다. 16강에 워낙 좀 완벽한
And
경기력으로
you've shown
또
immaculate
8강에
performance in the round of
진출하셨잖아요.
16.
오늘 이제 8강 경기를 앞두고
And
계신데
ahead of
이재호
the round of
선수와의
8 match.
대진이 완성됐을 때는
And after
기분이
your
어떠셨나요?
match with Light was confirmed, how did you feel?
대호 형 쉽진 않은
Well,
상대니까.
Light is a formidable opponent.
근데 저는 항상 제 컨디션에 따라서
But
제 컨디션만 좋으면
My
모든
game
시간이
performance
이긴다는
kind of varies
생각이라서
according to my
대진을 보고
condition.
뭐 딱히 많은 생각이 들거나 그러지
So I
않아요.
didn't have a lot of thoughts going into my
과연
mind.
이재호 선수는 이영호 선수와의
And
대진이 완성되고
as
좀
for
어떤
you,
기분이
Light,
들었을지
how did you feel
궁금해지는데
after
사실 7시즌
your
만에
match
또 8강에
against
진출하셨잖아요.
Flash was confirmed?
이영호 선수와의 경기를 앞두고 사실 이번
So,
시즌
ahead of
제대로 좀
today's
주인공이
game,
될 수도 있는
This
기회라는
might
생각이
be
들 것
your
같거든요.
chance to make it to the next level.
선수와 대진이 결정되고 난 다음에
After my game was
잠을 못
confirmed,
잤거든요.
I couldn't sleep. I had insomnia.
제 머릿속에 아무리 시뮬레이션을
And I
돌려봐도
tried all these
뭔가
simulations
이영호 선수는 다 맞고
going up
이길 것
against
같은 거예요.
Flash, and
그래서
it felt like I was going up
며칠
against
잠을 못 자면서
a wall,
굉장히 좀 생각을
and
많이
I couldn't
했는데
sleep,
오늘 좀
and a lot of thoughts
잘
went through my mind.
먹혀들었으면
And I hope today
이재호
my plan
선수의
works well.
불면이 저 때문인 게 아닌가 하는 생각이 들어서 좀 마음이 안 좋은데 자 다전제에서의 이영호 선수는
So,
정말 무서운
in a best
포스를
of
가지고
series,
있는데
Flash
사실
is a
시작한
monster in that.
경기 전에 정말 나는 자신이 있지만 그럴 때마다 한 번씩
But you said
질
that
때가
you
있어서
have the
사실 좀
confidence,
불안한
but
마음이
you
들기도
said
한다.
that
이런
every
얘기를
now and then you
하셨잖아요.
kind of slip.
오늘도 아까 전에 본인의 컨디션이 가장
So,
중요하다고 얘기를 하셨는데
You did mention
오늘의
that condition is
컨디션은
very important.
어떤지
How's your
궁금합니다.
condition today, Flash?
컨디션은 나쁘지 않은 것
My condition is
같고
not that bad.
제가 항상 맞아요. 좀 모두가 이긴다고 생각했을 때 많이
And when people all
못
expect me to win,
근데
I
오늘은
slip.
솔직히 연습을 많이 못했어요.
And
재호 형이
today I couldn't practice
연습
much.
상대를 저한테 한명 몽이만 딱 남아서
I
몽이를
only had
섭외했는데
Mong as a scrim
아프리카
partner.
BJ 중에 테란 6명을 다 섭외해 갔더라고요. 그래서
So yeah, all my scrim
그때
partners were
연습을 그렇게
stolen,
많이는 솔직히
so I
못했는데
couldn't scrim much.
제 연습 상대는 몽이와 그리고 컴퓨터.
So my opponent in scrim was Mong and computer.
자, 이 이영호 선수의 대답을 다시 얘기하자면 이재호 선수 정말 필사적으로
So Light, you
준비를 하신
probably,
것 같아요.
prepared
6명의
fiercely
테란을 정말
ahead of today's
다
match.
섭외하셨나요?
솔직히 그렇게까지 될지 몰랐는데 계속 듣다 보니까
Well, you know,
영호가 뭐 도와달라는 말을 안 했다고
Flash didn't really ask for help.
그래서 이거 웬걸 내가 해야지 이러고
So I just
그렇게
I
잡다
scrimmed with all these Terran
보니까
players,
그렇게 된 것 같아요.
and I think that's
그렇다면
how it
이재호
turned out.
선수의 이 8강 경기 연습량이 궁금해지네요.
And I'm curious as to how much you prepared for this match.
제가 예전에 연습했던 만큼 굉장히 많이 했던 것
I
같아요.
just practiced like I
그래도
was in my
해도
prime.
계속 하면 할수록 더
And as I
생각이
practiced,
많아지고 특히나 이영호 선수가
I started
워낙에
getting more
잘하는
thoughts,
선수라서
and I simulated a lot.
그래서
And as
많이
Flash is
하면
a phenomenal
할수록 좀
player,
머리가 복잡해진 것 같아요.
I just
제가 예전에 연습했던 만큼 굉장히 많이 했던 것 같아요.
I just practiced like I
그래도
was in my
해도
prime.
계속 하면 할수록 더
And as I
생각이
practiced,
많아지고 특히나 이영호 선수가
I started getting
워낙에
more
잘하는
thoughts,
선수라서
and I simulated a lot.
더
And as I
생각이
practiced,
많아지고 특히나 이영호 선수가
I started getting
워낙에
more
잘하는
thoughts,
선수라서
and I simulated.
¿Qué dice?
더
And as I
생각이
practiced,
많아지고 특히나 이영호 선수가
I started getting
워낙에
more
잘하는
thoughts,
선수라서
and I simulated a lot.
그래서
And as
많이
Flash is
하면
a phenomenal
할수록 좀
player,
머리가 복잡해진 것 같아요.
I just got more confused as I kept practicing.
자, 벌써부터 이 두 선수의 태태전이 정말 기대가 안
And we're
될
just
수가
looking
없는데요.
forward to
이제
this
양 선수
tonight's
마지막
TBT
테란을
match.
대표하기 위해 경기를 펼치게 될
And these
텐데
guys will be
서로
fighting for the
같은
last spot
종족으로서
as a
상대를
Terran
어떻게
player in the round of 4.
생각했는지도 궁금해요.
How do you regard each other as the same race?
저는 굉장히 무난하게 가게 놔두면 거의
I feel
최상위권
like if the games go standard, Light is a amazingly good Terran player.
경기전 가게 두면 엄청
So,
강한 형이거든요. 그래서
He can be really strong in late game.
어떻게 깨트릴지 그게 제일
So I'm trying
관건일
to
것
think of
같습니다.
ways to break him in the
무난하게
game.
가게 내버려 두지 않겠다는 이영호
So
선수의
Light,
답변을
Flash has
들어봤는데
mentioned that he's
이재호
not gonna
선수는
let
이영호
you go into
선수
the
평소에
late game.
좀 어떻게 생각하셨나요?
And what about you, Light?
일단 제일 스타를 가장 잘 이해하고 잘하는
He's
선수인데
a quintessential Terran player. He has so much
영어말은
knowledge
저는
about
이제
this
안
game.
듣기 시작했거든요. 항상 이제 머릿속에서는 누구든 다 이긴다 생각을 하기 때문에
You know, in my head,
약간 립 서비스라고 생각을 해요.
you know,
저도
I have
이제 잘
confidence,
알고 있고
and Flash
그래서
surely is
그만큼
confident as
더
well.
오늘 경기가 제가 여태까지 스타를 해온
So
시간이 헛되지 않도록
I'll try to show the best
후회 없는 게임 한번
performance
가고 싶습니다.
so that I can play without regrets.
자, 서로를 존중하는
And both
대답까지
players are
들어봤습니다.
respecting each
과연
other.
오늘 최후의 승자는
And
누가 될지 경기를
we'll see
통해 함께
which one
지켜보겠습니다.
wins
두 선수
today.
인터뷰 고맙습니다.
And thank you guys for the interview.
자, 올레 TV ASL
Thank you, Andy, but actually you mistranslated what Light said there at the end. He actually said happy birthday to Tasteless.
지금 바로 만나보시죠.
I'll try to win for you.
I'm 35 years old today. Wrists and forearms from specifically playing StarCraft. Which is funny because like a lot of people actually end up with problems in their left hand from StarCraft, but in this case it was actually a mouse injury.
Yeah. I thought that that's where most of the injuries were the mouse.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like I know some people that have had more problems in their left hand. But, well, no, you know what I'm thinking? I think it was my brother was the one that had the problems with his left hand.
Yeah.
Because he was the first person I knew that ended up with an injury. That was a long time ago. Yeah, I mean, the only way to really recover from these kinds of injuries.
Calmao, ¿qué? ¿Va 14 cc?
So he's probably going to play through this tournament, and then and he hasn't done his military service, so he might end up.
That's right. He said,
doing that here.
He said specifically in a wonderfully translated video from Jinjin that this is the last ASL due to his injury. It's right now a shoulder injury that's going on. He basically plays in pain at all moments. But his doctor's like, okay, this is serious. You got to get this fixed now. So what he'll do is after this ASL is done, which by the way he said he's going to give his all to do his best in.
Right.
He'll skip. He was planning originally to do one more ASL before military, but instead he'll just take it off and just rest his arm, not play as much.
El problema del hombro de Flash es su postura, weón. Juega así, pues, weón. Como inclinado hacia adelante y sin apoyo en el hombro. Y no juega con un pivote en el hombro, pues, weón. Eso es cuestión de verlo acá en la foto, ¿no? Pues, weón.
Exactly.
En cambio, Light juega así como que estuviera tocando piano, pues, weón. Por eso no ha tenido nunca un...
the entire StarCraft scene when he has to take some time off. Now, I imagine he'll, you know, with the time
Una
he's
lesión.
spent in the military.
El codo, pues, weón. Si se nota aquí, pues, weón. Como tiene el codo hacia afuera sin... Puta, no se alcanza a ver aquí, pues, weón.
Yeah, well, I mean that's
Pero su codo derecho, cacha, está como por fuera del apoyo de la mesa.
Light losing that first SCV.
Yeah, so jumping into the game real quick, Light actually scouted a huge amount of territory with his SCV and went for a command center first. Now, Flash is just pressuring. This is not expected to do actual, like, SCV killing damage. Oh,
Salvó el SCV? Ah, no.
Actually loses an SCV there. You did not need to lose that.
That's 2 SCVs that he's lost now.
But forcing this many SCVs to be pulled this early and to make a bunker right off the bat, when you put both those things together, suddenly this has done a reasonably significant amount of damage. Notice the add-on for Flash. Most likely he's making a siege tank. And what you'll do from a situation like this, because he's already pressured him, he forced the early bunker, which slows down everything else.
Va a sacar el SSB igual.
Second fact, whatever you want to do, it kind of messes up your build order as the Terran player. But a lot of times what happens is you send a siege tank across, it's like your Protoss, and you're just pressuring the bunker and making them repair. And it costs even more minerals.
You know, a tank, you'd be surprised how many people don't realize this, but the tank does outrange the bunker not in siege mode.
Yes, absolutely.
So you can just sit there and pound away at that, and it's a headache. So we're going to be seeing a little bit of that coming up. Now, these Marines are trying to chase away this SCV. Tempo-wise, excuse me, Tempo-wise, you know, Light did get his expansion up a little bit more quickly.
Yeah.
Flash is not in a bad spot, but you know, he's sort of paced this out a little bit differently by trying to put some pressure on, trying to keep Light on the defense. And yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And you know, the thing is with the command center first, you get more SCVs than your opponent, so your economy continues to build. But for instance, we just saw the third SCV go down for Light, so now he's lost 3 SCVs. That's significant in a matchup between 2 players of this caliber.
Right. By the way, a second tank is coming down here. Now, tanks do more damage more quickly, not in siege mode. They just don't have the splash.
That's right.
So this is actually a lot that the Terran has to deal with. I mean, remember that it's not just that you're making these SCVs not mine. They have to spend money repairing the bunker itself. And so with the first tank coming out here now for Light...
Julia, está atento a todo, hermano. No se comió ni un golpe en el tanque, weón.
Yeah, his Wraith will be popping out.
Ahí se comió uno.
Here. I didn't actually catch if he was going for siege mode or not.
Oh.
But yeah, as the Wraith comes out, he can finally force this away.
Did you see that little trick he tried to do there? He ran the tank under the barracks, trying to see if he couldn't be target fired, but Flash adjusted slightly, and the tanks then targeted that down, forcing Light to back up.
So the Wraith comes out, and he's got to micro this to kill off these 2 Marines. The 2 Marines actually buy a lot of time.
Yeah.
And is this a Goliath coming down? No, I didn't think so.
He is sending an SCV. Yeah, one thing to point out is that, yeah, really, actually, 2 Marines is a headache for a Wraith. And that is a Goliath coming down.
3 beats a Wraith. 3 full health Marines beat a Wraith.
The Wraith, in an actual straight-up fight, is one of the worst units that you can have. The advantage is that it flies. A lot of units can't attack air, and its air-to-air missiles are pretty good. But a couple Marines on the ground, yeah, that's a problem.
So here's the first Goliath for Flash. He's playing this game beautifully so far. He's really put on as much pressure as he possibly could. Light will probably do a factory explosion from here. But the question is, like, does Light, or does Flash rather, try to set up some sort of contain at this point?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I was wondering, is there any merit in trying to just attack the bunker with the siege tanks in siege mode, or is that a fool's errand?
No, you don't want to go over the bridge anymore. That time has come and gone. At this point, you're kind of looking to maybe contain an area to slow down Light, to screw him up a little bit.
Right.
But you don't want to do a real frontal attack right now. That's like one way you can lose your units. If you end up losing your units as Flash, you definitely can get in trouble from here, even though I would look at this position and say that he has an edge.
Okay, Flash is going to move down here towards the bottom center. And again, this is all trying to keep Light under control. Again, Light's been forced to take a fairly passive role here because he went for that quick expansion. It's why it was a pretty intelligent move here for Light to then decide to get some of these Wraiths out. Hold on a second, good scan. This is one of the things I love about when you watch Flash. It's very subtle, but he always ends up scanning where the army is.
Like, he was hoping for an engage coming downhill there because he knows he has more.
No, te ancló mal,
He
weón.
actually comes in with the scan. Beautiful targeting right there. Gets 1 tank. He's going to get a second. Oh, what?
What? Oh, that's weird. Okay.
No tienes canto, weón.
I guess there was something weird.
He's got to pull away.
I guess the shots were a little bit staggered there. Oh, no. Now, this is actually a big deal because, remember, it's not, you might be looking at this and seeing the barracks getting killed off. No big deal. You don't really make a lot of Marines in this matchup. Actually, you need the barracks to make factories.
Yeah. Light had already started his next command center. He's actually on 3 add-ons.
Como está usando el mapa,
He's
weón.
kind of accounted for all his money for now, and it's not as big a deal. But if he had wanted to add 2 facts right now, he would be in trouble. But he's actually going for a mass siege tank approach here.
Nah, no hay forma de que salga,
I
weón.
think that the problem here is that
Ahora Flash se toma la tercera y Light no tiene cómo salir a tomarse su tercera y termina el game.
At this point.
Right.
And Light is going to have to do something bold, maybe go into dropships or something, but breaking these tanks in that position is so unfathomably hard, it's almost not even worth trying.
Yeah, I mean, a really good Terran player, as you watch them win, it's like watching a boa constrictor eat something. You just constrict and constrict. Oh,
Qué buena,
That was a
weón.
beautiful move forward.
Yeah, he actually edged that in perfectly. So he's going to take out 2 tanks there. So, as I was saying earlier, yeah, you're basically trying to strangle your opponent. You're trying to choke them out of resources. There are moments where drops become huge, but the general theme you'll see in Terran versus Terran is just that you're trying to box them in, you're trying to suffocate them out of a victory.
You can hit a critical mass of siege tanks that becomes so hard to break. Now, Flash doesn't have the critical mass, but he has the high ground advantage. The one thing Light really does have going for him is, well, 2 things. He has 3 factory add-ons right now. He's not really wasting his time making anything else. And he has a Wraith. And Wraith tank outranges tank Goliath barracks for spotting.
Yeah.
So you actually have more spotting with the Wraith.
Right. Oh, hold on. He's going to try to come out this way. Now, there are 2 tanks over here, but with 2 more coming in, this is going to be a little bit of a problem here for Light.
Oh, this is... that felt like a really smart move for a moment there because there's so many tanks on the other side.
Oh my
but
god.
The amount of tanks that Flash has killed, look at the look on Light's face right now.
Yeah, well, if there's a moment where the game started to get turned on its head,
Yeah.
he's beginning to lose, it was that moment right there.
Yeah, it feels like Flash has still outplayed Light in almost every way. Light had one good move sniping a couple tanks on the high ground there. But other than that, Flash is playing magnificently. Look at the difference here. It's a command center first that Flash played against. 115
¿Por qué
supply,
Light?
89 right now.
Yeah.
Like,
That's actually pretty jarring.
yeah.
Considering Light
No
opened
salió
up with
Vultures
Recon
para romper ese
and,
contain.
it's a mirror matchup.
Podría haber hecho eso y quizás era más fácil romper el contain que a puros tanques y un par de
So
Goliaths.
ridiculous. Everyone else on Earth is Bronze League, and he is Super Grandmaster Pro Gamer Champion. It's like, this is just such flawless play. Look at his money just staying down. He's switching into Wraith already. He's got a perfect contain up that doesn't look breakable.
So the third base has been taken here for Light, but you know the problem is that I don't know where else he can go from here. I mean, he is very much so contained. Again,
Él
the
cambió a
bridge here
Vulture,
has been
recién
quite
se
a
demoró en
contention,
cambiar a
so,
Vulture,
it
weón.
looks like Light's going to try to break out in the more open area. We'll have to fight up onto the high ground, but we have more tanks coming in here.
Yeah, this was a nice move. The siege, the SCVs took a lot of tank hits there, so that worked out very well. But the 2 Wraiths of
Oye, si
Flash
Light sale
definitely
sin
gonna
perder
help
mucho,
out.
Flash
There's
queda hasta
no
el pico porque
anti-air
esos son
for
todos
Light.
sus tanques, po, weón.
And
Ah, no, ahí
now
tienen.
Flash with the
Estoy puro
counterattack
weando,
is
weón.
big
Está
move here.
planchado en masa.
Now this is so intelligent. Now there's some tanks coming back here. I don't know if Flash was quite prepared for this attack from the bottom.
I tell you, with moves like this, Tasteless, who needs friends? Seriously.
Again, these Wraiths, there's nothing here to contest this. So what looked like Light about to break free, Flash instead ended up isolating the army on the outside here. And these Wraiths getting so many free shots, we finally have a Goliath coming forward.
Por fin puede salir de esos dos puentes, weón. Se demoró cuánto, como 10 minutos en poder salir de esa posición.
Look at that.
GG,
That's
there it
how
is.
Y ni siquiera salió,
Yeah,
weón.
that
Culeado, bueno.
I'll tell you, man, that is...
Magnus Carlsen is so lucky that Flash doesn't care about chess. He's so lucky, Tasteless.
You could see the frustration on Light's face.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just...
He said it well in the interview. When he saw that he was playing Flash, it's like, when you try to prepare for that, it feels like you're preparing to play against a wall. It's like, whoever beats a wall in tennis, right? It's like, whoever beats a wall in StarCraft, it's so hard. It's a command center first from both sides, which is exactly what I would expect.
Yeah. If you're wondering, isn't this a little bit risky? I mean, in theory, yeah, but
Qué mapa de
it's
mierda
just
este, weón.
unlikely that you're going to get, I think, rushed in the same way, so...
Yeah. Well, this is kind of a funny thing. Like, I guess Light has a plan, but I was going to suggest that on one of these maps, where, like, for instance, we almost always see Command Center first type builds or Nexus first, Hatchery first on this map. Why not just proxy barracks on one side and just flip a coin? You know?
Yeah, you know...
I think a coin flip against Flash is really, really good.
One of the first time I ever heard of this concept, I think it was Smuff did it against Tessie.
He killed Tessie on Tau Cross.
And at WCG in Canada, those are 2
crazy.
very good players, but basically he chose one of the 2 possible spawns that Tessie could be in and just built gateways in that main, and then it turned out that that's
where Tessie was. He killed him. It was so funny.
And what's funny is, I'll tell you something, if that happened online, you would be 100% sure that Smuff would have been cheating, because it's like, well, how would you just know it? It's like, but it happened on land.
Smuff was the type of player that would take a coin flip like that.
Yeah. He was way ahead of the curve.
It was especially funny because Tessie was a hacker for so many years. So
yes,
it was like, yeah, how does that feel? Do you like that? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Was that actually an offline match? I thought that
was an
played
offline
online.
match.
Oh, okay.
No, it was at LAN. I believe that's what I was told, but
I thought it was offline, but okay.
Well, what do you mean offline?
I mean online.
Okay. Oh, maybe
I thought it was like a PG tour, like a tournament, like.
You might be right. I'm not sure. I was pretty sure it was a WCG, but maybe not. But
regardless,
right? Anyways,
it's coin flips like that are always hilarious because
yeah.
if they're not where you're guessing, you just look so stupid because it's not going to do
Oh yeah,
anything.
you literally might as well
over in the
just
other
leave the
direction.
game. Like it's going to be the most confusing game for the player that he's ever won.
Yeah.
So, quick question, Artosis.
Yes.
And this is out of genuine curiosity here because I really don't know how this works. If both players, got greedy like they did in this game and went immediately for command centers, is there any way for both the two command-centered players to then, for one player to try to cut corners again to get ahead? Is there a second greedy play?
Okay,
what is
so
that?
well, there's always the thing like, do you make any defensive structures? How many Marines have you made? Those are the small things. But from there, it's like how many factories do you want to go into? A lot of times when you have two very eco-heavy builds, both players will want to get into vultures. Here, though, there's a little bit of mind games on both sides. Oh, wow, that was a great catch by Light.
Yeah.
But Light's actually going double Stargate, and Flash is going single Stargate. So that...
Yeah, with a second factory. Whoa, cancel the add-on there.
Cancel
Good
there.
catch there by Shine.
Yeah, that's actually very interesting. But he's getting an armory here as well. So I was going to say that this should be Light favored, especially if he goes cloak quickly. Because obviously if you have more rates than your opponent, that's like any other thing that we've ever seen. Right? You have more rates, you have more whatever. You have more Corsairs. But yeah.
On Sparkle, yeah.
Yeah, on Sparkle. But yeah, okay, so they're both going for the add-ons. Just a bunch of factories without.
¿Cómo sabe, weón? Tiró un scan, ¿cómo supo, weón? Que va 2 port rate.
Actually liking this a little bit more here for Flash. You can do a lot of cool tactical things.
¿Cómo sabe, weón?
But if they immediately
¿Cómo chucha sabe, weón?
can entirely answer that, you will just smother them with Goliaths.
¿Cómo sabe, hermano? ¿Cómo chucha supo que iba 2 port rate?
This is one of those weird moments where the Goliaths kind of have that same theme, like a lot of. Sometimes when you just start to get enough Dragoons, you can keep making Dragoons and win a game. Goliaths sort of have that feature at times in this matchup as well.
Now, I'm actually wondering if he's going dropship off of this. I could see that. Like, he's gone up to 4 Goliaths immediately.
Por no me di cuenta y escauteó con la barraca, no sé, weón.
It looks like he's making a dropship right now. And that's very interesting because dropship has potential to do damage in a situation like this, but I actually kind of like the Wraith tank player. Because if you micro just right. Oh wow, he misses it with the scan.
That is quite the scan.
Yeah, if you micro just right, you should be able to kill everything they bring over, right? The Wraiths just can snipe down the dropship, but I don't know if he made anything out of there yet. Unsure.
Oh, look at that! He's banking the Wraiths over here in this this gapped area in the upper right, in the outer space area. Artosis,
the outer space area. Sent his Wraiths to outer space.
Right.
He sees the starport. Just harassing a little bit with the race. Okay. Kind of an awkward number.
Yeah, you're not quite able to one-shot SCVs with this, so.
No. It's actually a 3-shot with 3 rates. 4 is a
2-shot, right?
But yeah, right?
So again, I don't know if this game is going to immediately shoot into action. This map sort of encourages you to expand away from the other player. So that also incentivizes, I think, less real engagements here. Like the Wraiths are just attacking because they're flying units, and it's like, why not? You know?
Yeah, you made them. You got to use them.
But pushing out with tanks might be a different story.
Yeah, it's so hard to actually push on this map. Like, what are you going to push? Are you going to like do a gully push and push into their main base? Like, that's a move that could eventually work, but right now in small unit count numbers, not likely. Right now, Flash, he's kind of got the factory advantage momentarily. He does have his 3rd base up a little bit quicker. He's throwing down turrets. So these are kind of some useful things for the long term. Ooh, gets one of the raids. Nice.
So, while pushes are unlikely, contains, or I think, an inevitability here, just in the way this matchup operates. But is there even like a place you want to try to go and contain first?
No.
Right?
I think it's not even that good because if your opponent just walks around, like, what does that contain do? I guess he can expand there, and it defends his side of the base. You have to walk the long way around.
Well, the map is starting to get opened up a little bit here. Flash actually mined through that, and that actually changes the nature of everything here because now I think
Mapa culiao horrible, weón.
Yeah, that's going to be annoying.
Could push this location down here.
He's got to throw some tanks over there defensively. But, I mean, he should be able to stop this. That is a lot of units for Flash.
Flash just, again, ahead in supply here. The thing is, these minerals are actually pointed towards where the tanks are. So instead of having to even hit the command center, you can actually get right to the chase here and start to hit the SCVs. And we're going to have to see if Light can deal with this. Now, one thing that's just a natural problem for the Purple Terran in this position is that it's hard for him to get his tanks to where they need to be to defend the SCVs, or it's much easier for Flash over here. And these Goliaths being able to shoot over the depot is another big headache here.
That was misplaced tank.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. The amount of damage that Flash is doing with this right now is so silly. Like the first attack he
Ya
makes on
era
this
Light,
big of a map
weón.
is just killing it. And this kind of shows again why contains don't do anything on a map like this. Like,
yeah,
there's 4 tanks over these. Are we calling that a contain? What Light did with those 4 tanks? They're just sitting there.
By the way, I'm pretty impressed that Flash would then pull away. I feel like almost any other player in the world would have kept his tanks there a little bit longer, but there's something about Flash where he's like, no.
Yeah, he did his
I
damage.
know this literally exactly, perfectly.
Playing very safely, getting out into a different position. The thing is, he left his army near there, so maybe if Light gets pulled around in another direction, then suddenly Flash can move in again.
Well, when this push
Como
happens
chucha
over here
sabía,
at the
weón.
top right, that's when basically Flash's tanks and Goliaths in the center left become like Zerglings and run in there and hit it again.
Yeah, could be.
I actually, this could end up, if his next push or drop works over here at the top and the attack on the center left also works, I think we will actually just have a GG. I might be wrong, but it is looking like that.
You know, Light is on 4 bases, so yeah, you'd have to bust this base minimum.
Yeah, but I think that's actually easy, right? I mean, he has literally more of everything. He's now unloading tanks and Goliaths on top of these tanks, so he's going to win this fight up here. SCVs are being pulled. Actually, they're being used to try to help in the fight.
Yeah, and well, his Wraiths were a little bit out of position there, so the dropship's really helping out. Flash gets into a great spot, but the Wraiths, okay, this is a nice move from Light. Picking off dropships is definitely very, very good.
We're gonna get a shot up here. Okay, he is still actually hitting that location.
Lift it, lift it.
Yeah, he needs to lift it.
That full volley on there, that would have been close to death.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, it actually could still burn out. It's not being moved, and there's no way for SCVs to get under there to repair that.
He could send his Wraiths over
Pero a
there.
pesar de todo el daño que
There
Flash ha
at the
hecho,
moment, but,
sigue parejo el
he's gonna
juego,
miss that
weón.
opportunity slightly.
Okay. He is going to save it. All right.
Yeah.
This is something that occasionally happens when players are very stressed, as a Terran building accidentally burns to the ground.
Yeah.
For no reason other than the player simply was stressed and distracted and forgot to do this simple task.
Totally.
So it's Light on 3 bases now.
Yeah.
And Flash is actually taking the bottom left main.
Yeah. He's just starting to
Se
expand
tomó
out.
toda la
This
weá de
is where the
abajo.
growth becomes exponential.
Don't forget he has that group units on the left side, which actually is funny because
Se tomó todo el mapa nomás. Permiso, tengo ventaja, me tomo todo el mapa.
It's hard
No
for
importa
Light to
nada.
actually attack the bottom left at this point where Flash is expanding massively.
Yeah.
Just look at that. It's like you move up and, well, here we are. Slow everything down. That's going to give Flash a lot of time if he wants to try to ferry some units over there or walk units over there. Now this, all right. Is Light going to get in here and actually get some SCVs?
Yeah.
Good harassment. Such a weird map.
Mapa culiao
this
incómodo,
map-
weón.
These
This
armies
map
are moving.
hurts my brain in some ways, like just trying to see how the armies are going to move and where they're supposed to go.
Totally
Now,
it does.
I think there's a timer here that we got to put on Light. If Light doesn't do something huge really quickly, Flash is going to have the entire map. He will have way too much control. This is a 3-player map, and Flash is now taken over the other spawn that the 2 players didn't start
It's a
in.
big deal.
So it's like, you know, considering that this map oftentimes is cut up into pieces, into slices. Excuse me. Flash, it basically has way more slices now. So if Light can't punch these bases off of those positions, Flash will just have more money, and it's an inevitability that he will win this game.
Yeah, it's really strong that he has that bottom area. Now, Light is trying to do some sort of push here. It's hard, though. I don't know if he has any dropships to ferry up, so, you know, I guess he can hit some buildings that are on the fringe.
Yeah, this is...
+2 is already done for Flash here, and a +2 just gives him such a defender's advantage.
Yeah, tanks 2-shot other tanks, right?
That's right.
In siege mode, at least, yeah.
So, like, you want to get +2 as quickly as you possibly can in this matchup. +1 doesn't matter, +3 barely matters.
Right.
Armor upgrades barely matter. It's really just all about getting +2, and Flash has already, so that's really nice for him.
Well, Light's going to try to break in through here. Now remember those tanks at the upper right, they didn't do much. They got a depot or two. But he's going to try to come out here and get something done by maybe taking control of the center. Now Flash is not actually occupying the center. He's been occupying the areas around the center. But, oh, as I say that, I'm sorry, now he is going to come into this location and try to claim this.
Yeah, I think as the game gets big, the center is the important area of the map.
Yeah.
Because if you can control that, first off, there are a lot of bases in there, like mentioned previously. All the natural expansions are low gas, low mineral.
Yeah.
So they aren't as valuable as other bases. And obviously, like, mains are important and stuff, but, like, if you control the center, your army moves around so much more quickly, your dropships move around so much more quickly.
Yeah. Again, Wraiths are another big factor here because they can actually shoot down the drop ships. Although it doesn't seem like Flash is that interested. Oh, hold on. I was going to say, it doesn't seem like he's that interested in dropping just yet, but now he's going to try to come into this location again. There might not be that much to defend here. There's a heavy push, though, down at the bottom here from Light. I don't know that he can break this, though. It's so hard to get onto high ground here. Oh, my God. These tanks are so perfectly positioned here.
That is a pretty strong drop right there.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, he has just enough flies here to really punish those Wraiths from coming in. Light will be able to clean it up, but loses quite a few SCVs.
Yeah, almost all the SCVs in that location were killed off, and it looks like 2 of these drop ships, nope, might not actually get away here. By the way, we have not seen Light actually breach the bottom left spawn. Oh my God, these tanks are still here.
Así se ve, weón.
Don't worry.
He's got it. His drill's got this.
Yeah, it actually... SCVs are actually better against tanks than any other Terran unit.
Yeah, this is something that's very funny. Is most matchups when you see a fight happening, workers are pulled.
¿Cómo supo,
culiao,
weón?
There's range units involved. You know, I mean, the melee units is a different
Sabía
story,
nomás, po, weón.
in this case, it's nice shot. In this case, actually, SCVs are very handy at screwing up the siege mode for the siege tanks.
This is, I really am happy that Light chose a Wraith play and we see dropship play from Flash.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't care which side is going to do what, but like, that in and of itself makes it very, very interesting. Like, if both players are going dropship, it becomes silly because then there's like 8 dropships and then dropships just drop on the same exact location all game long and then someone wins. But in a game like this, there's actually a lot of finesse from both sides. The Wraiths are trying to zone out dropships, pick off dropships, look for areas where there's not enough Goliaths and things like that. Whereas, you know, the dropships, they can reposition your army, but, you know, they don't carry as big an army as, like, Light just attacking with most of his units around.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of finesse on both sides here. Very interesting game. And even though Flash is winning right now and is looking good, Light's not that far behind. Even though you look at 20 supply differential, at these supplies, you can live for a long time as Light.
But I think the problem is not whether or not you can live for a long time. It's how can he close this game out into a win. And I mean, if you just look at the map, it looks kind of even. But I would still say Flash has an overall edge. I mean, those additional bases that he took before Light have now kicked in. He's almost to 170 supply. So he's going to be maxing out in moments. And then there might be a period where, you know, Flash can really throw his weight around and start to crush different positions on the map here that Light has currently.
Yeah, it may be.
Pero Light tiene todo el medio, tiene todo el medio y tiene que controlar las 7 con esos tanques.
Pizza slice bases. Flash does have the other main, but Light has taken a base in the center of the map as well. So you look at this.
No se ve tan mal Light, a pesar de que tiene menos supply.
I mean, he's playing well. But Light's doing a good job, and he's starting to cut up areas that are really important. Like, look at that siege line in the center. That's really strong. He brings his Wraiths there.
Ooh.
Yeah, you see these scans starting to hit the dropships.
Yeah.
If you can spot the dropships a significant amount of the time, the Wraith player actually gets an advantage from that.
It's very
the
true.
Dropship player needs you to be a little bit in the dark with this.
Well, when you get enough Wraiths, they just immediately shoot dropships out of the sky. You can't even unload fast enough to save your units that are inside.
And eventually you hit the right number of Wraiths. It's just like when you see like Mutalisks against Spores. Like, you hit it the right amount, and you start killing turrets and things too.
Just like that.
That's a huge moment right there. Beautiful by Light. Beautiful.
Okay, he's going to try to come up here to the top right. Again, this has been the most action on the map here has been in the upper right. Flash really seems to decide that this is the location that is the softest spot that he could try to come in here and do some damage at.
I feel like Light did a panic siege as he was running those tanks up. If you got them a
too
little
far back.
If they were a little bit higher, this would be a much more secure expansion right now. He can bring a few more over, and it looks like he is. So I don't know if Flash is going to break this right now.
I didn't realize you could put tanks in that little area up there.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, I actually didn't realize they would fit up there. I thought that was unwalkable terrain. How funny. I guess, yeah, you can get about 2 of the mineral patches at that distance, which is enough
60
to completely
de
interrupt the mining.
diferencia.
Yeah,
Bueno,
that's
ahora
super
40,
annoying.
30.
No doubt about that. You see that Flash right now is maxed
Esa
out. He's
posición es
starting to
muy
make
buena de
decent
Light,
amount.
weón.
It's mostly minerals.
Porque si
though.
le niega esa mientras
That
mantenga el
does
medio va a
count for
ganar,
something.
po.
Minerals, you make turrets, you make vultures.
You make other command
But,
centers.
Yeah, gas is by far the most important thing, though, in
Right.
TBT.
By the way, that command center in the upper right, that scanner might be the only scanner to ever die from siege tank splash damage or tosis. From hitting those SCVs.
Sure. So, still, Flash is, like, treading the line on Goliath count right now, by the way. Like, I saw Light look, and I looked, and we both decided the same thing. Can't quite do it.
By the way, I think we were right about this being the longest game in the series.
Yeah.
I don't see this ending anytime soon.
It's so hard to...
No se dio
on a map
cuenta,
like this.
weón.
Right.
But yeah, where are his Goliaths here?
Sabía que estaban los Raid, weón,
You
bueno,
gotta be
weón.
careful. Yeah, he's starting to build turrets, and that's really important, especially with this type of mineral bank.
Pero ¿cómo sacáis el Light del medio, por hermano? Explícame esa parte, por favor, Flash. Explícame cómo vaya a sacar al Light del medio, weón.
Turrets, command centers. Later on in the game, sometimes you get back into vultures when the map becomes very close to mined out. Oh my god, his siege tanks are in distance of this command center.
Now, this is actually pretty big.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look on the minimap, there's no other locations to really fight over besides the center right? No, wait a minute. Do you see these?
Center right. Oh yeah, you mean that the middle expansion.
The middle, yeah. I don't know why I said it like that. That's a really weird way I worded that.
I was decoding it still, but yeah, you're right. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Flash is being a little bit cheeky right now, flying up the left-hand side of the map with this many dropships.
Okay, now this is a risk.
Ooh.
Now there's wraiths here, but there's not enough, and so the unload is going to occur here. Now this may
Hoy no
pull
tienen
some
nada para
attention
defender esa expa,
from the
weón.
center over to the center left, which may end up with a soft spot here for Light in the middle that Flash can then exploit later.
Yeah, that was a very nice drop. Light just barely did not catch end time. Didn't have quite enough wraiths right there. Yeah, like he should think about replenishing his wraith count, maybe get it up to 12 or so. But he's actually going to try to break the center now. That Flash is so spread thin.
No, I think Flash was not anticipating this. Instead, Light ditches the center left location instead to get total control here of the center.
Yeah, what a strong move. A great TBT is just amazing.
Oh my god.
Y el otro va por la main.
Now this is kind of crazy, guys, because there's no way to get factory units down that ramp now if he gets control of that area.
Yeah, Flash might control the whole left-hand side now with that. So yeah, you can't rally out anymore, and Light has not been making dropships, so he has to walk a reasonably long way around. He can eventually break that set of units, so it'll be interesting to see if Flash pulls that back into a more defensive stance or not.
Okay, dropships are loading up. Again, right now, Light has more map control, even though there is this kind of odd attack over here in the upper left. Right now, Light does basically control the center, which means you have the ability to circulate units more easily to where you want to go. Whereas, if you look at the mini-map for Flash here, he has this sort of boomerang-shaped position, so it's a much longer travel distance by ground. And in cases like this, it means dropship play for Flash specifically is more important.
Yeah,
he needs to be able to cart his army wherever it needs to go.
He's trying to do that, but you see that Light is starting to fill in some of these areas with turrets and whatnot. Oh wow, look at this drop by Flash. New dropships in here as well. Oh, that was a little bit close to drop off as Light.
Oh wow,
he brings up more tanks though. He is going to break this.
Yeah, this is a pretty crazy firing squad here from Light. These tanks from Flash are just a little bit too bunched up. Now again, positionally, it looks like Light's killing it, but then you go up to the supplies here and you say, wait a minute, Flash has way more of an army.
Yeah, and he does have a pretty significant bank here as well. He's just basically everything that Flash is doing, even though Light breaks positions and is holding very important parts of the map, Flash just keeps making cost-efficient trades all over the place, which is a great way to play TBT in a long, drawn-out game, where it's just like he drops his units, he screws up a base, kills a bunch of SCVs, and then you have to spend a bunch of units to clear it. You clear it,
Y todavía no puede limpiar las 7, weón.
sufficient for Flash.
Mientras no puede limpiar las 7, Light todavía tiene chances de ganar el juego, weón. A pesar de que está súper en desventaja, weón. Pero tiene mejor posición al medio. Esos tanques de ahí son los que le están manteniendo vivo a Light, weón.
Flash's gas income is not really that impressive, considering 3 of his gas bases are those reduced geysers.
You know what? he's going to go into the main.
Yeah, I think you're right
This
about
is something
that.
that does happen in TVT, is occasionally you just go
Los
for the
escaneó.
factory zone, basically.
Lo escaneó
Them
nomás.
from inside out, you know?
Yeah. He is those super stacked, though. He's got to be careful. If you... Sometimes drop ships can bug out trying to drop in location.
It's a very
Oh my
frustrating
God.
thing. And so instead, I'm sorry, he's not going to go into the main. I thought he was. Instead, he's going to unload over here. And this is a very unusual angle to attack into. I never in a million years would have guessed this is where he would have dropped it, but I guess it's working, so why not?
I think he scanned the main base and saw it was well enough defended that would have been really bad, but this was actually really bad by Flash.
Yeah. This is
super efficient hold there.
Oh, one dropship goes down.
Yeah, really, really strong hold by Light there.
Light's holding his own this game.
Yeah. And so now take a look at this, right? Like Flash, he still does have a big mineral bank. He still does have more supply, but notice how he's not maxed out anymore. His gas is low enough, right? Like he could just make a bunch of vultures and maybe he'll end up doing things like that, but it's hard for him to continually make.
Pero esos tanques, dropea encima de esos tanques, hermano, y listo. Te tomáis esa base y quedáis con millones de gas para toda la historia.
Okay, no scan there, by the way. If he had scanned there, that would have been cash
huge,
money.
yeah.
Oh my God, he would have wiped those tanks out.
Now, again, although the entire map was dominated for a period of time, the center left is now this dark area. Nobody really has that much control over it. Nobody's really mining from the bases over there.
Now, it looks like Flash wants to try to take that area over. He lost all of his units in this main base, but Light he's being kind of clever here. The way that he's
Por fin,
spread out
weón.
some tanks. Like he put one on high ground, he has a few
Ahora
mines in
Flash
here
puede
as
ganar,
well.
po, weón.
Oh, good mine hit. Yeah, that's really nice positioning there. Now Light is starting to make some moves that are going to make him more cost efficient and have Flash have a harder time cleaning up. And again, look at these banks. See the gas banks for both players and look at the mineral banks. So this is what Light is starting to gain from the center of the map.
Right.
And having the 2 pizza slices for a little bit at least.
Yeah.
He's actually got a lot more gas. So his army quality overall is going to continue to rise.
Okay, he's coming forward now. Another big drop over here. With all that action in the bottom left, it seems
Va a
like the
romper el
center
medio, lol.
became a little bit squishier here, and now Flash pounces into this location.
Yeah, very scary army. He kills off this base and all those units there as well. What does Light have to the north of here? Does he have enough to actually hold on to the middle base? I think he does. Maybe he loses the mineral patches, but he can live without that for now. As long as he's denying that bottom base from Flash as well, it's really good. Okay, yeah, those aren't quite reaching the geyser, so he can
Esa
actually
expa,
still get his gas
hermano.
in there, which is really
again,
nice.
gas, a more important resource here than minerals.
And now you see Flash is starting to get into mineral mode, where you see these vultures starting to come out into his dropships. This is just a big sign that he's like, oh crap, I need something.
He needs to, there's no point really in StarCraft to ever save.
Yeah.
So you just want to spend. So since he's got $4 grand in minerals, he's just starting to dump those minerals into vultures. And look, vultures are not great in mech versus mech, but they can at least absorb a tank shot instead of your own tanks or Goliaths getting hit.
Yeah, they definitely have their place. With dropships, they're a little bit less strong because they don't really do that much as they come out. All right, gonna clear up this area. See what he can get done. Gonna try to tank some hits here.
More dropships coming down now to try to reclaim this location here. Light fighting back.
Ooh, really strong again. This is such a crucial base that Flash wants right now. Flash did
Pero no tiene gas, po, weón. ¿Por qué está tan preocupado de tomarse esa y no la de más abajo a la derecha, a la izquierda, weón?
Really nice thing for
Que
him.
sí tiene gas, weón, y lo va a salvar el culo.
Yeah. Look at the supplies right now again. This is, I just love this game, Tasteless, because it's 2 different strategies, 3-player maps. Force a lot more action in TVT than 4 or 2-player maps.
4-player maps, 2-player maps tend to get cut in half pretty organically.
Yeah, you can't cut in half a 3-player map, so you always see these crucial spots fought over, and you can see, like, right now, Light's army is better. Like, Flash has one more armor upgrade or something, but a lot of his supply is starting to turn into vultures at this point.
You know what's funny is that Flash is basically pushed out on all sides, and now the center of their map is almost entirely surrounded.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
It's beautiful.
It's a funny look, but it is happening.
LOL va a perder Flash,
To
weón.
drop down into this main.
That's, That's really great. This was really the cash cow for Flash this whole game, was the third spawn location.
This was really the cash cow for Flash's whole game was the third spawn location. This was really the cash cow for Flash's whole game was the third spawn location. This was really the cash cow for Flash's whole game was the third spawn location.
Va a perder Flash, weón.
Alright, so
Qué loco, weón.
Flash is actually moving up into the other natural of Light, which is kind of interesting as well. If he has units on... Well, I mean, I guess Light can just rally out the bottom now. He does not need that depleted geyser. It is not really impactful in this game.
Okay, so he's just going to go ahead and leave that location now. Dropships are going to come in here again. Nothing to defend in this location. This expansion not that rich, but you got to take what you can get here as Flash. So he's going to drop over here. Counter drop, though, by Light. Really nice play. Again, supplies are even here.
Yeah, this is...
And Light has a lot more gas, which means a lot more tanks. And tanks are sort of the...
Si no rompe esa expa,
These
GG,
are
weón.
the last strong moves that we're going to see out of Flash.
GG, si no rompe esa
especially with
expa.
dropships. At this point, he's like just about dried up. I wouldn't be super surprised if he GG's soon here. I know that the supplies look like it just barely went to Light. He's 5 supply up right now, but
Se ha tomado la laguna,
Flash
Flash.
has just about nothing left over. He's barely mining anywhere.
This is
Look,
crazy.
his minerals are not even going up now. So
Yeah.
it's just a bunch of depleted geysers giving him
Oh,
money.
did Light actually do it?
Yeah, I think he did.
I think, yeah.
This was a beautiful
Now
game.
let's see. He doesn't want to misstep, though. You got to be careful.
Oh, yeah.
A bad play, and you lose those dropships with your army, and then Flash can absolutely finagle a win here.
This is Flash's last army.
I'm sorry,
though.
but how much income does Light actually have, though? He has this sort of...
He has the 2 bases in the center, and that's it. And he's only
he is
half
mining
mining
from
the other
center?
one.
Yeah, the other one, the command center's not centered correctly, right?
That's right. He's
Which
doing the gas and
drastically-
the minerals.
Yeah, which drastically reduces your income.
Yeah. But when you look at for how long Flash has been gas deprived, a lot of his supplies and vultures, whereas none of Light's supplies and vultures. He's been mineral starved, so he would never buy a vulture at this point. So Light's army, without any doubt, is much, much stronger.
Okay. We got more vultures planting mines down here.
El drop a laguna, weón.
Things are really beginning to slow down. We got to watch very carefully every next move, every next step of the way here. Now here come those tanks unloading over here, but these vultures, and this is one of the big factors, is that vulture mines start to really get a lot of value in some of these fights. Oh,
Whoa.
What? What? I don't even know. I've never seen
even?
so many Terran units ever die to a mine ever.
That was so crazy. This late into the game, that almost never happens.
Yeah. So again, yeah, I mean, these vultures, you can get some real value out of this. Flash is trying to save this base. The dropships are going to load up again.
Yeah, that's really his last chance is that base. He doesn't have any other way to get minerals, so he'll just probably plop his entire army down here.
Look at that instant scan right on where the dropships are. He's so on top of everything.
I wonder if Light is going to figure this out, but like Light...
Tiene todo el lado izquierdo, va a tomarse Light, weón.
Sure. Because right now, Flash
Sabe que
can
ganó,
do
weón.
anything but try to guarantee that top right base.
By the way, if this game goes on for a lot longer, the bottom left main is now under Light's control. It's not being mined, but he has the position. He's claimed that.
Yeah, Light is in such a dominating spot right now. Flash just now going to start mining again. I actually kind of... Oh, look at this. Okay, so what Flash is doing is reinforcing a couple positions, loading up vultures, and seeing what he can get done. Like maybe kill SCVs at a base. Any damage you can get with vultures right now is good for Flash.
So is this more of a waiting game right now for Flash? In this?
Well, no. Right now, Flash is trying to buy time.
Yeah,
If
it
he
seems
can
like
get little bits of damage
set
to
up
buy
a
time.
kill here.
Yeah, Light is very close to victory at the moment, whereas Flash, I mean, he's doing moves like this. He's like, okay, yeah, your dropship's over here dealing with one dropship of vultures. Okay, that's good. Because Flash cannot defend everything at this point.
Yeah. At this point in time, it's like Flash needs to drag this game out he's digging right now to find an opportunity.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, this is Flash we're talking about. If anybody can do it, it would be him.
That is a true fact. I know it's like a corny thing to say in esports, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess Flash does get the upper right. I think this game is going to go on. If he can't get deny on that, then there's not much else you can do. Now Flash is either going to
Y nunca ninguno de los dos se tomó las 7, weón. Pelearon todo el juego por las 7 y ninguno de los dos se la tomó.
Reclaim the bottom left, though.
No, he
I mean,
can't.
how do you get over there? I don't think it's a realistic thing.
I agree with that. I think that Flash needs to make a very strong move, and by a very strong move, I mean kill the main base of Light. I think that is his highest percentage chance of winning this game. Because if you look at it, right, like everything Light has is in the center of the map, sieged up. You can't attack into that.
Right.
So what is left to you? If you can knock out all of his production, then you can fight him.
Not just that, but it's not like he's making that much out of the factories. So whenever he gets there, it's not like there's going to be tons of tanks coming out and to fight, you know?
It's very true.
Not all these factories, the lights are not on.
Se arrepintió.
He's scanning though. There's turrets there. There's some mines in there. A few tanks sieged up with +3 attack. That's not something you want to hit. So Flash is going to look for somewhere else. I just don't know where that somewhere else is because pre-siege tanks and dropships flying around like this is the ultimate defense from Light. If you already have your tanks sieged up and you have that many dropships flying around, nothing you do as the other Terran player is going to break that.
It's so funny whenever we get the vision check here for what Light can see. It looks so weird. He's just got this block in the middle of the map and a small strip on the bottom.
Yeah, he looks right now like July Zerg's creep spread in StarCraft 2.
Yeah. Okay, he's sieged up again here.
Yeah, Flash, I mean, he looked for the main kill. I love that he tried that. But now it's like, do you rotate everything to the bottom and try to fight there? If the dropships follow, you're screwed. If the dropships go up to your top base, you're screwed. Like, there's not a very good answer right now for Flash.
Yeah, there really isn't.
Like, maybe he tries to max, and I'm trying to think, like, realistically, how do you break anything right now? I feel like you need Light to overreact somewhere with his dropships. That was kind of a ruse that you just sacrifice a small bit of army to and then hit with everything else somewhere else.
Yeah.
I feel like that is the only chance for Flash to break anything.
Okay, so now Light's taking that bottom left base. This is where things are going to start to ramp up here for Light, and he should be able to get a closer. Again, I just don't see options here for Flash. The upper right base, minerals are beginning to diminish there. And then, from there, where do you go? Okay, his answer is to try to reclaim this. Now, this attack has to succeed for this game to go on. Because if he can't, oh my god.
Nah, GG.
Oh my god, I think Light's going to win this one.
GG.
This should be it. Just dropping these tanks off, he's going to eliminate so much Flash's gas.
Yeah.
So little left. You can't break that. There's so many siege tanks. You need BCs to break that.
By the way, you beat Flash in an early 40-minute TVT. You do have a realistic chance of winning this best of 5. Just gonna put this out here,
Light's a legit player, man. This is really well played.
This is really showing,
His securing of the center of the map was it was brilliant.
I mean, this is a real game of endurance, man.
It is. TVT is an endurance fest. This is the ultra marathon of StarCraft games. If Flash had one more, like a pizza base on that side of the map, this could go on and be a really good game. But right now, he is rubbing 2 nickels together to make a quarter. There's not much left here.
Yeah, he's just not able to do anything, is he?
You ever see that movie, Catch Me If You Can?
Yeah.
He's that guy right now, okay? He's gonna get caught.
Yeah.
This can't go on forever.
Last. Yeah.
This can't go on.
Wow. I can't believe Light did it. And I gotta say, I really thought that, for a lot of this game, guys, Light was at 120 supply and Flash was at 170 or 180.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Light gained the superior position and then managed to force Flash into having consistent, less efficient trades.
It was a positional victory for sure, how Light took the center of the map and then everything dried up for Flash, unfortunately. I would say more like fortunately, because this has been an excellent game.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we're going to have a real series here. I was worried this might be a 3-0, but it's looking like it's going to be tied up 1-1.
Light is so good, man. Okay, he's going to bring his SCVs. This is the final hurrah.
Right.
There's really nothing after this.
Is he going to unsiege those tanks at the bottom, though?
Yes. He should send everything.
Something weird happened because he sieged half and then...
He should have those hotkeys.
All right, here we go.
Separated, but okay. Yeah, this is... Let's see what Flash can do. I mean, he's got a lot of units coming from the bottom as well.
Oh, my God. All right, he's going to try to come in here from both sides.
Oh, my God.
This is where the zoom feature gets really cool here.
Such a large battle. Ooh, maybe moved a little bit too far.
There's just too many tanks.
Yeah.
GG!
Ganó nomás, po, weón.
Unreal.
Ganó nomás.
This is a great series so far. The very forced standard map Flash dominates on.
Creo que la sudó.
A very different one. They both went for really valid strategies. One player.
I'm very curious to see what kind of game we're going to have here. This map is kind of funny because of the edge expansion.
Mapa
It's
culiao
kind of
raro.
islandish. So a lot of times this becomes a series of drop ships being shot out and people trying to quick win positions.
Well, here they're actually both going for a gasless expansion. Nothing particularly wrong with that. It's kind of safe. This is a very proxyable map, so you don't want to go straight up.
Right.
Command center.
The risk
first.
is too high.
Yeah. It's like command center first is good against gases expand, which is good against, you know, proxy raxes and stuff like that. Then you got your very middle of the road, just gas expand, you know, with a factory. But yeah, both going for that quick command center. So somewhat similar to the previous game, just a little bit less economic. And now we get to see what type of game they want to do from here. Are you trying to go vultures for control? That doesn't feel like a great idea on this map.
Right.
It can look kind of like what we saw in the previous game. I don't think you go straight into 2-port. Not again, at least. Not going to be as strong here. You definitely can set up contains and whatnot. Don't forget that the 4 bases that are island-ish are reduced mineral and gas, and
That's
only
correct.
6 patches. So those are, it's like, it's great to take them because they're kind of easy to defend overall. It's hard for your opponent to attack them, is probably
Right.
a better way to put it. It's hard to attack, hard to defend. But yeah, they're just not worth as much.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see if this is a map where it actually gets cut in half. You know, in Game 1, Flash really showed, I think, about as flawless of a game as you could ever ask for. Game 2, I mean, Flash was playing near perfectly, but Light went for the position play, and Flash decided that he would probably just be able to outproduce and crush through, and it didn't turn out to be the case. And I mean, Light played one of the best TVTs I've ever seen on tripod back there.
Oh, yeah,
that was incredible.
Played really well, and I think he had a good understanding of what he needed to do. A lot of times, maps in StarCraft are, like, if it goes late TVT, a lot of times a player with the center of the map will end up winning.
Right.
And now, like, for instance, if you look at Fighting Spirit, there's a huge expansion in the center of the map. So a lot of times if that goes split map, whoever gets the center wins.
Right.
This map could go like that. That's obviously a very valuable center base. It did get reduced gases and I think minerals on this version. But yeah. Anyways,
okay.
this
So
is a big attack.
Flash is going to try to come in here. Now, the SCV is here to lead to absorb the first shot from Marines. Actually, Flash slightly miscontrolling here.
Yes.
Flash miscontrolling here. And that's just a hold.
Yeah. That was beautifully held by Light. Holy crap.
Yeah, that was perfect.
He killed 4 Marines with 3 Marines, and he didn't lose SCVs, so that was awesome.
And you saw it started to snowball out of control. When Flash mismicroed the first Marine, he didn't pull it away as quick as he needed to.
Yeah. Super well done. And the 2 SCVs being pulled up was really important as well. They put that extra damage on there.
Flack se pegó en 36.
He's going double
No tiene supli. Se pegó en
Flash is going
36.
to 3 factory and he's already producing. So if you
Ahí
look at these
terminó
2
su-
builds, now we don't know exactly what Light's doing. Is he going to go Siege Tank Goliath? Because if he's going Vulture, Flash is going to win this game quickly.
Aló.
So the
Bueno, hermanito,
A
dime.
funny rule with vultures in TVT.
No,
You know,
¿por
in
qué?
that, you know, on very open maps, even though the vultures is,
No, hermano.
in a lot of ways,
Pues
like,
se pega
shots
hace
kind
rato,
of
weón.
terrible against Goliaths and tanks, if you get enough of them,
¿Por
it
qué,
starts to
weón?
get crazy. Here we
Well,
go.
yeah, they are
Huh?
actually just such a fantastic.
They're also such an
Pero
in-between
anda para allá,
unit,
po.
right? Tanks, it takes a while to get out.
En
You
la
can actually
casa.
get a surprisingly large number of vultures out pretty
Ajá.
fast.
No, no,
and
estoy viendo una weá, pero ¿por qué, weón?
Yes, he will definitely get speed next. He already got
Okay.
mines,
Oh, okay.
No,
and he will
en la
just do a
casita.
little bit of contain. But yeah, when you go 3 factory vulture, you need to get your speed upgrade as well.
¿Qué onda,
How many
weón?
tanks does shots is it to kill a mine? 2. Okay.
¿A
Both
dónde,
of those
weón?
tanks just shot that one mine and it survived.
They hit a vulture.
Oh, okay.
Ya, pero yo no
You
tengo un
gotta
Sober, man.
target mines because vultures have higher priority.
Yeah.
So
That's actually
there's a lot
big,
of micro.
En la casa de tus tíos,
it's a
¿dónde
big
está esa
factor
weá?
in StarCraft in general is that, you know,
Oh, pero
in
para
StarCraft 2,
acordarme
for
dónde
instance,
es,
the
hermano.
AI targets whatever is attacking it most that is closest.
Yeah.
In StarCraft 1, it'll prioritize some units over others.
Pero hermano, si no
Right.
tengo ni un Sober,
And
hermano.
that's
Estoy
a
el
really
seco,
important thing to watch
completamente.
for, 'cause there are definitely battles where you have to do things like target
Estoy
mines
hasta
now.
el
Now,
cornete.
This is actually
¿Ah?
a big pickoff for Light.
No, po, weón.
That is a great pickoff to get that barracks right now because Flash is only on 3 facts.
Yeah. And
now-
you need the
Ni
barracks
esa
to make
weá,
more
hermano.
factories, guys.
Yeah, and look how quickly he's removing these mines as well. Wow! This is actually good for Light right here.
Vente, por hermano.
Because what Flash was doing, this is very
Ya,
standard
pega
stuff
una llamada
where
que
you
esté acá.
go for vultures, and then you
Vale, chao.
realize that they are not also going for vultures, so you switch into tanks very quickly, and you try to get your tanks up behind some mines to help protect them. And like it's a great move. It's very standard TVT
Yeah.
there, and Flash is going straight for it, but Light nailed that. He cleaned it out in perfect time so that he did not get contained. And now Flash is having to set up in a very defensive posture.
Here comes Light. Oh, notice he went around here. He's trying to go for a flank. Yeah. Is this going to work? What are the... Okay, the tanks are positioned away. That's a very flankable location.
Yes, yes.
That's flank city, my friend.
If he attacks from that side and then, you know, hits from the bottom as well, he'll eliminate these tanks reasonably well.
I got to say, I feel like Light is really outclassing Flash here. Okay, here we go. Flank has started.
Well, that's a lot of tanks from Flash, and he has siege mode set up, so if he targets tanks down
he needs to get the tanks.
He should hold.
Va a romperlo, weón.
I think these Goliaths can actually get in here and start to really do some damage.
Yeah, and they certainly are getting in here. More tanks coming down, though, for Flash.
Okay, the third tank does go down.
Yeah, big kill, and he gets...
4 tanques por 3 Goliath.
So Flash
Permiso.
ends up holding. But yeah, it was a good move. And now Flash taking another main just willy-nilly. So
El mismo plan, weón.
Love it.
You know, Terran vs. Terran especially, it looks like Go in the games. Like you're trying to surround them and kind of close them off.
In those territories and whatnot. Yeah. Absolutely. So Light has a bit of a contain up. If he somehow intuits the top left and sends like even a vulture there, that is a big moment in this game. Because if he can just stop that command center from building, and or, you know, just get up there in general, that is going to be so good for him. But Flash looks like he wants to try to break this area, sacrificing a couple vultures to get those tank hits off. Very nice. Flash is trying to make himself a path so that he can actually move around the map a little bit.
And Light is basically trying to cut him out of the picture. Now, there's an SCV scout here. Dude, this is getting better and better for Light here.
Yes.
This scout was so important because a not scouted main will completely cause the other player to miscalculate their position.
Yeah. Finding this, oh my god. What does Flash do now?
I gotta point out here, the
Todo para arriba, compadre, todo para
is
arriba.
really important because of that gas. He needs to get the gas to get enough tanks to come out here. Oh no!
Oh my god, those two tanks from the bottom are gonna wrack. Oh, beautiful!
My god.
The Goliath's moving forward is so strong as well.
I like him covering up the one tank that's injured with the barracks. Can't be targeted. I don't know if that's intentional, but that is what ended up happening there. Now, hold on.
Permiso.
Yeah, it seems so. Definitely that was a scary moment, though, with those tanks coming from the south.
Absolutely.
I thought that Light might be able... If Light had cleared that set of tanks, this would have been close to me being like, okay, this game is almost over.
Right.
Because if you clear those tanks, you have that containment, you can suddenly hit the top left, and Flash is down a base. But right now, Light has pulled back a bit. There's becoming a bit of a no man's land in the center. Which, yeah, the starports are going up. They should be rushing up towards +2 at this point because it doesn't really feel like anyone can kill each other.
Right.
And maybe getting into a little bit of dropship play.
Remember, guys, vultures do not set off mines. That's another little small thing that you got to note. So, it's the tanks and the Goliaths. It's the real threat of that over there. Now, this one vulture is going to come in here, beginning to attack the bottom left. So they both know exactly where they're at in this game.
Yeah, okay. They really do.
Confirming the other mains are taken is very important.
And it's very close right now. I can't really name who's winning. I think the Flash is getting a dropship out more quickly. So maybe I lean towards him because he has potential with it, but it's so close it doesn't even matter.
Okay, I was actually about to ask this question, but he beat me to it. I was going to say it would make more sense to take the other natural instead of one of the islandy, right?
Yeah,
islandy locations, and so he's doing that. But you know, there's not a ton of bases on this map. Now, I don't think anybody's going to be mining from the center, but if they do start to mine from the center and they keep it for a long time, they will win this game.
Yeah, that's if this game gets completely cut in half and no one can kill each other, it will become a battle for the center. And this is also a BC map.
Yes.
Unlike the 3-player map Tripod, like you probably wouldn't see BCs there as often, but a map like this, the center, like if someone sieges up, the only way to break it is Yamato at that point, a lot of times. So there's a slight possibility.
Los buenos tienen la misma idea todo el rato.
This is... I always like to point out, if two people are both trying to break down the same thing, one of them's wrong.
Yeah.
In this case, it was Light that was wrong there.
Yeah. There's basically no moment where both sides are attacking an object to open it up. It's like, well, somebody's going to lose this, right? Either that or it's like an absolute perfect trade. So
even in that case, like someone has to be wrong. There's no way.
Yeah. So Flash is banking Wraiths right now. Oh, now hold on. We have Light pushing up here. And this push is very important because they both have the map cut in half, but there's a chance that Light can actually trickle his army up north.
Yeah, that's... Okay, so he's slowing it down with these vultures there. He's going to set up a few siege tanks. Yeah, that's enough siege tanks, so he should be able to just hold on to this area.
But I'll tell you what, controlling this location over here does mean that Light, in theory, should get the center left.
That's a really good point. If he kills an assimilator, it becomes his area for the most part.
Yeah, very true.
But Flash did switch into Wraiths, like you said, and Light is making Wraiths, but out of 1-star port, whereas Flash is making them out of 3.
Yeah.
So...
And there's this whole phase where it seems
Nunca
like
pensé que
things are
Light le
slowing
iba a dar
down, but
tanta
they're
cara a
actually about
Flash,
to
weón.
ramp back up with an air fight here.
There are a few turrets around. That's so important. Maybe he already scouted that this was occurring.
Yeah,
These turrets are really going to hamper those Wraiths.
It's very hard to keep track of you know, who's going where on this map. Okay, hold on. We got a push coming down here from Flash. And he's going to try to break through this area over here.
It's almost worth it to target the turret right now, to be honest. He has so many
That's actually a good point.
Yeah, he gets that turret down. That's actually kind of a big moment. With the Wraiths, he should be able to fly in right now, overwhelm Light's Wraiths, and then force an unsiege and then gain more ground. And if he can kind of put a light containment on, or even a heavy containment onto the main base, it's such a big moment.
Okay, he needs to go that
Oh,
SCV
ese cambio
turret
rate,
first and
weón.
foremost.
Oh my god, what a big moment here for Flash.
And again, when you have this many tanks, this many Wraiths, the tanks are just very easily picked off.
Look at this. He's decided to give up a ton of his tanks instead of give up this area right now.
Right.
But the thing is, he doesn't have enough anti-air coming, so I think he loses the area and he loses the tanks.
Yeah,
and that's the worst of all worlds.
The turret finishes, but he didn't siege up by the turret.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Pero
Flash just demolishing with these Wraiths right now.
Okay, and here's the thing. He's actually going to get over here. There's just enough Wraiths that they can actually take on a turret. You need quite a bit of Wraiths to do that, by the way. Again, Wraiths almost never want to fight straight up. You know, they want to use their cloak or hit units that can't attack back.
Yeah. Okay, +2 is done.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something.
No tiene
but
cómo lidiar
not
con los
enough
aviones.
anti-air still here.
Yeah, again, and I think this actually might be Flash's neck-breaking move here.
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of the 1-2 punch, right? The Wraiths suddenly clean up the ground position. Whoa! And then,
you know what? Flash does not have scan right now. Okay, he finally gets energy for a scan there, or maybe.
No, that was. Oh yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, because he ran away from like 3 Wraiths with like 9 Wraiths. So that's when you know someone doesn't have a scanner, didn't hotkey their scanner. So Light still has a lot of economy. He did lose a lot there. Flash has more of the map. And again, on these 4-player maps that have an expansion in the center, having more of the map is actually very important. Even if there was an expansion there, just having more terrain is strong in TVT.
oh, esos aviones, weón.
Okay, beginning to hit these tanks.
Ganar con los puros avioncitos, weón.
Again, Light, this is a very, very big problem because, again, the tanks are the most important unit in the matchup. And so when you lose a ton of them, it's hard for you to ever take that final fight, Yeah. A lot of TVTs end with the player who was holding still, unsieging, moving forward with everything, sieging up right in front of his opponent's tanks, and annihilating that line of defense. But when you lose this many tanks that we're seeing here, I mean, how do you do that? And now we see Flash in the similar fashion coming down here now. Now, there's still a lot of tanks here for Light. Can Flash actually break this position?
I think he can push it back a little bit more, but the +2 is definitely helping.
Ooh, the Valkyries is an interesting move here.
Tarde, weón.
If any of those uncloak, by the way, they're just going to start being attacked. Whoa!
Yeah.
Really great play here by Light.
Valkyries beat Wraiths.
Tarde, weón, ya te...
Yeah, to a comical degree.
Ya te ganó la mitad del mapa,
The
weón.
problem is that the Valkyries, of course, can't attack the ground, right? So you basically got to win the air fight by fiat, but then you don't have anything but spotters.
It's too bad for Light. If he just had a few more tanks here, like if he had 4 more tanks in that area, remember how many tanks he lost to the initial Wraith push? That's really what got Flash into this beautiful position.
The thing is, Flash is trying to gain access to the bottom left. He's already got some vultures in there. But if he can get an army down there, if he can get like a tanks, Goliath to set up, Light's going to get starved out of this game.
Yeah. Still trying to break through. Coming down forward. I mean, this is a lot of tanks for Light, so Flash is being a little bit wasteful here.
Yeah, this is actually a misplay here by Flash.
Light can retake some of this ground if he wants.
Light is outgrowing Flash, by the way. If Flash doesn't break that spot, this is just... Light's going to continue to grow. The only other big factor here, guys, if you look at the center left and the center right of the map, Flash actually has control over that. And this is eerily similar in ideas to the tripod game, game 2.
Yeah.
Light has... actually, I'm sorry, it's actually the reverse of that, I should say, but it's the same ideas, right? One player has control of the center. In this case, it's Flash. The other player has control of the edges and more bases. And in this case, it's Light.
You know, it is. It's like kind of switched up from that last game in that way between the players. But we just saw Flash adding a bunch of factories. So right now it seems like he's got the idea that he is just going to brute force his way through this game. Yeah. He does have a pretty sizable bank right now, so I don't think it's a bad call.
Okay, not bad.
Qué bien está jugando Light,
weón. Light playing the TDTs of his life right now. And again, there's nothing to defend. This is actually a lot of SCVs being killed off. I don't see any army. Okay, he's sending some vultures of his own up here.
Yeah, and obviously he'll kill these off, and he lost some SCVs, but it's not really.
Qué bien está jugando Light, weón. La cagó, weón.
Getting into positions now. Yeah, see that center being taken. I think that Flash just realized that this game is going super long. It's going to be really hard for either player to break the other. The map is not really that wide, so mass dropship play can be a little bit tricky. Like, you might get one of them off, and then your opponent's going to super defend
Light tiene las dos expansiones laterales, weón.
But Light holding on to this area, this is kind of cool. It gives him a staging area to attack for.
Tiene las dos expansiones laterales, weón. Y Flash tiene el centro.
Very careful about that. Now, Flash getting the center here. It's not that easy to push with what Light has right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, neither side can two gas geysers in the center?
Yes.
Okay.
They are reduced.
We just never have anybody take the center ever on this map, so I'm actually just not sure. I thought I saw it too, but and so two gas geysers is pretty big because that can balance out the two gas geysers that Light should inevitably get over in the center left and the center right.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point, actually. Yeah.
Which means that actually it's still split economically.
Yeah, it is somewhat.
Yeah.
I'm just really interested to see, once this becomes slightly more turtle, if someone goes into BC. Because when it becomes super, super turtle, BC tank is the end game.
Right.
A few tanks, mostly BCs.
Yeah, you want to use that Yamato gun on those battle cruisers as well.
Yeah, and tanks kind of stop the only thing that could ever beat BC, which would be mass Goliath. And the thing is, there's all sorts of small permutations based on army sizes and what's left on the map. Like, you might have science vessels mixed in, you might have Valkyries mixed in, you might try to do a giant Wraith switch to knock out the BCs when they're out of position. Obviously, mass turrets get made. But yeah, as I see more turrets made and more tanks sieged, becomes a big question. Like, do you think you're actually going to kill your opponent with these drops? Are you going to actually be able to break through the tank line? Because the longer that you remain cost inefficient trying to end the game, the more late game units your opponent's going to be able to afford.
Yeah.
Right? For every extra tank you throw away.
Oh, well, hold on, Artosis.
Yeah, it's a lot of drop
Flash is setting up to have a jaw-breaking move here, where I think Light might be maybe going towards more BCs. Do we have the BC tech yet?
No.
I don't believe we've seen it
100%
on screen.
Light does not, unless he made a second science facility, which is like space brain move.
Here we go.
Okay, there you go. This could be mass Wraith, though, as well.
That's true.
Some people like that.
There's this little trick. You'll actually see it used against Protosses who go carriers as well, where, Wraiths make so much faster. If they're going BCs, you can just spring out a bunch of Wraiths and kind of shoot down all the battle cruisers, but it can occasionally not pan out that well in the long run.
If you have a really big economy...
Here we go.
This is the moment, yeah. Okay, Flash trying to take a giant move here. Yeah, that's strong right there.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, no
well, I mean, I don't know how many dropships he has. Light might be able to clear that eventually.
The thing is, he can really easily reload and come back in. I don't think Light has that many dropships, man. I might be wrong about this.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I've never seen more than 2 or 3, I think.
The thing is, he can siege up this side and just say, okay, you're not mining it either. And of course, that puts Flash at an advantage because he has the center.
Yeah, I was going to say, Flash has 2 gases in the center, so...
Battle cruiser.
Battle cruisers, so he's going to put the add-ons here. He can't make battle cruisers without the add-ons.
Now, there's like all sorts of silly little tricks that you can do in TBT. Like, for instance, he had his science facility floating over on that right-hand side. So sometimes what happens, now it's Flash, so it probably won't happen, but like if you have a science facility floating somewhere, you're like, well, they wouldn't make a second one, so he's not going BCs. He'd land this one, right?
You know what?
But you can just make the second one. But whenever you see a big BC switch, it almost always happens at the other main base that the Terran has. So normally what happens in a game like this is you just continually scan there looking for starports.
Right, right.
And we don't know where they're scanning. We hear tons of scans going down. Okay, he sees it.
If I'm understanding Flash's game plan correctly, I think he's decided that basically dropship play can activate and punish more quickly than Light can get enough battlecruisers out due to the islandish nature of this map.
Yeah, and he made that great move. And he's switching into BCs at the same exact time as Light.
Right.
But to switch into BCs, you must start throwing away units.
Yeah, so let's talk about this, because we're about to get to this moment. We're going to see SCVs thrown into siege tanks, which looks like, you know, from an outside perspective, like the worst thing ever. But actually, workers become less important. You've pretty much mined out a lot of the important parts of the map. Giving up workers allows you to make more battle cruisers, which is the final unit. I guess that, and then the one science vessel to EMP the other battle cruisers.
Sure. Well, you know, eventually you actually even want your dropships to die. You want a lot. You want all your Goliaths to die eventually.
Oh my God.
You need
Pasó
to have
cagándonos.
just enough siege tanks that your opponent can't go Goliaths and can't push you with tank turret either. Okay, so just gonna clean this up for now. The thing is, Light just immediately remade his supply with battle cruisers. Flash will probably do that right now as well, with what he lost. But you have to be very careful at this, because if your opponent, you could have all these dropships full of cool units.
Yeah.
And if your opponent has more BCs, he's ahead. So
it's very
Flash has to decide: do I like save these units and try to be cost efficient? Do I start throwing these away, even if it's slightly cost inefficient, to get more BCs making? Because eventually, it's just siege tank turret Yamato.
Right.
It's like it breaks everything. See, dropships, Goliaths, none of that stuff matters.
Keep in mind too that, battle cruisers, they take a long time to make. So that, you know, there's this whole balancing act. Okay, like you have more battle cruisers now, but do you engage? Do you wait a little bit? You know, don't come out too early with your BCs in case they did in fact decide to go wraiths and blindside you. Here comes another drop.
Le rompió las dos expansiones del medio la wea, weón.
Of this area, even though it's not the expansion itself, it's the area that allows you to control that expansion area.
Feels like Flash's moves are just stronger each time.
Yeah, and
every like he just got rid of supply.
Right.
But this was a better move than what Light did.
Yeah. Again, in the center right, nobody's mining. Flash did not try to claim that expansion. He tried to make sure that nobody can have it.
Yeah.
Because he'll probably just be able to outlast Light in that way in the longer game. And we're getting to a lot of BCs being made here.
Yeah.
Here's the first wave coming out. Again, Light not looking bad at all.
No, but Flash has been a little bit more efficient. He's mined more because of the center and the denied right base. So definitely, it looks like Flash is ahead, but there are more BCs out quicker. Yeah, see, it's just time to throw them away. They don't do anything anymore. It's just, there's more BCs out quicker for Light.
Yeah.
So, I feel like what Light really needs to focus on is a Yamato turret siege tank push upon the center. If he can get Flash out of the center, the game becomes pretty even. If he can take over the center, then he can win.
Right.
Y la expansión de las tres, weón.
Well, let's see here.
¿Qué va a pasar con la expansión de las tres?
Center, then Flash literally just won't be able to mine from anywhere. We'll just lose. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's tough though, because you know Flash has a big bank. He has enough money right now to make 10 BCs in his bank.
I'm sorry, where are Flash? Oh, there's BCs, all right.
Yeah, it's only two though. It's only two, and they came out later, so he's gonna have Yamatos first.
Yeah. It's almost like you have to think of the battle cruisers like Templars with Sidestorm here.
Somewhat.
Like the ones that come out are you first, or the ones that are going to have the energy first. And the Yamato really is what allows you to get momentum and propel you forward in a fight. Now there's a few Goliaths out here, which is a quick answer here for the battle cruisers of Flash.
Yeah, so, I mean, the Goliaths still have some value right at this moment to push these siege tanks back. But you have to actually edge up, like, centimeter by centimeter here. You need your tanks, like, doing ultimate zone control.
Okay, again, these Goliaths, it's very hard to traffic them around the map here. There's basically 3 parts in the center. There's the base in the middle, and then these 2.
Uy,
lanes here on
EMP,
the
le va a
right.
tirar el EMP, lo lazo.
Right there, that would be amazing.
Oh my God, he just does it.
And he kills a BC.
Okay, that was. I'm actually I'm a little bit shocked actually that actually worked there, because I mean you really need the energy for Yamato, and now I feel like advantage Flash here.
A lot of times in situations like this, you'll see just vessels suiciding in for EMPs and getting Yamatoing.
You can even defensive matrix 1 vessel and fly that vessel in there and
you
have
have
that.
to use 2 Yamatos, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when you EMP it, like whoever gets the Yamatos off first, you know, that's an advantage. Especially in BC versus BC, 2 Yamatos kills a BC, just like 2 siege tank shots kills a siege tank. I'm just so happy right now. The amount of PvPs I've had to cast in the last few years, and I finally get this.
Yeah, we don't get to cast very many TVTs lately. It's kind of funny.
And every time there's a TVT day, for some reason I'm traveling, and it's it's so stupid. So I'm so happy at this moment to be able to sit here and watch this and just explain this to everybody, because it's just amazing.
Okay, so who actually has more battle cruisers? It's still Light, right? Oh my god, here we go!
No.
My
Woo!
God, amazing. Now, every time that happens, now we don't have Yamatos. And now we almost have to wait longer.
I'm sorry, what is the actual amount of energy a Yamato shot takes?
150.
150, I thought it was 125. Okay, 150.
Yeah, you can never have 2 Yamatos.
Now, hold on. Light's actually...
Parece que va a ganar Light, weón.
He's actually coming in here. This is going to be at least 1 gas.
El buen Light.
I'd love to see how much gas is left in these geysers at this point. I think that they're almost dry. I guess when he kills it, we'll be able to see.
Okay, he's going to try to come here from the top. Scan's coming down.
Yeah, does he have better upgrades right now on him as well? Okay, he's actually... Light's playing very fearfully here.
Yeah.
He has 1 less attack upgrade. And upgrades on BCs definitely do matter.
Certainly.
It's not the biggest thing. Yamatos matter the most, and then Science Vessel Energy matters the second most.
Jamás pensé que Light le iba a dar esta cara, weón. Pum, pum.
Nicely done. Beautiful. That was beautifully done.
Jamás pensé que Light le iba a dar esta cara a Flash, weón.
Here with an execution move.
Ni siquiera se me ocurrió,
You
weón.
know, you lose those vessels, you got to remake them, and then you got to wait for them to get enough energy.
Yeah.
EMP.
Vessels are actually incredibly important in these situations.
EMP, weón, EMP.
What am I seeing here? What?
You're seeing Light. Okay,
there we go.
very good defense matrix.
Y el EMP, weón.
He is fighting over a turret, and there is a Goliath in there as well that adds to the math a little bit. 2-2 against, I believe it's 1-2 right now.
You want to target fire in this situation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you
want
want
to
to target them. You want to target BCs down immediately.
Tiene un mon.
Which I feel like Light's not doing perfectly, but Flash is.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Flash is
yeah.
out on top. This is crazy. I just don't understand the math on this as well as Flash does. Okay.
He made way more starports. At first, Light had more, but he didn't have as many starports to build BCs quickly.
Okay.
Oh,
now,
there's a very damaged one. Please kill it.
now hold on a second.
Oof.
Yes.
Can Light switch into just mass Goliaths and try to counter push up there?
If your opponent pulls back correctly with siege tanks, you will lose because you did the mass Goliath switch. Like, see these tanks? Now he just hits the siege mode button and suddenly unbreakable.
Yeah. Oh, gotta be careful. Almost losing that one battle cruiser.
Yeah, you never want to lose BCs to turrets.
And EMP's 100 energy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, science vessels are such an important part of the stance. Whenever you see them, you want to Yamato them. They only take 1 Yamato, and the thing is, they can negate Yamatos both through EMP and defense matrix. Like, you can actually tell if you play a lot of TVT what the Yamatos are aiming at based on how the BC moves. And you can actually, like, dematrix stuff. Like, if they're trying to Yamato a tank, you can dematrix it, saves it. Bam, done.
Yeah, and then the Yamato's basically wasted.
Yeah. So, the science vessels are such crucial units here, and they cost a lot of gas, by the way, but
look at the minerals moving very slowly here. This map is almost mined out.
Yeah, very close.
Oh my god, he's not even really mining in the middle.
Flash has no gas left.
Yeah, look at that. It's going up by 2s. Wow.
Flash is gonna. He still has some mining. The thing is, a lot of this, a lot of what we see with the missing minerals and the minerals go up slowly. There's a lot of repairing going on. You're still probably adding a few turrets here and there.
Right.
And don't forget, you have to throw away a lot of your SCVs. Like when you get a huge bank like
Tiene
Flash,
demasiados battle
again,
cruiser
you have
Flash.
money in bank for 10 BCs at once.
Tiene muchos battle
You
cruiser,
want to
po,
make
weón.
the 10 BCs. It's almost better to not mine and to have a bigger, better army. Because Yamato is like mining in a way.
Okay, Flash continuing.
Se comió el EMP más grande de la historia, weón.
Oh yeah,
They have like no energy.
But
Los de la izquierda, los de la izquierda, los de la izquierda.
All right.
Buena,
Might
weón.
be, I think all
And
these
he
are
has
energy.
3-3.
Now hold on. Light's holding out hope that he can get enough battle cruisers here in the end, but you know, Flash has basically
Well, he has
maxed out.
3 Goliaths here as well. Let's see. If he has some Yamatos, I don't know how many he has. Oh, he doesn't have them yet. These are very fresh BCs for the most part.
And the thing is, he can actually corner these Goliaths and tanks here in the center left and just massacre them.
Okay, he's got to target as best he can. He's just barely short of Yamato energy here.
It is so crazy how good Flash is at this matchup.
Yeah, he's really
Like,
good.
he is able to navigate this so perfectly, it's insane to me. I just can't believe
Tenía
it.
un Yamato, weón.
And it seems like light supply is plummeting more quickly. There's the one Yamato.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and it's harder for him to get battlecruiser reinforcements over here.
This was like Flash's one real timing right there.
Yeah.
Not that he wasn't going to win anyways, but if he waited 20 seconds and did this, then
this
Light
might not
would have
have worked.
wrecked his BCs. He
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
would have won the battle.
These TVTs are just incredible.
Yeah, they really are.
Light
GG,
really
weón.
holding his own here agast Flash, I gotta say. I thought this was going to be a pretty one-sided
Pedazo de game,
and I
weón.
know Light's a great player, but
Pedazo de game,
Flash
hermano.
is just- he did it again. GG. G.
Gotta be careful about those single G's.
That's right, man.
You need 2 of them.
What does one G stand for?
Just means game.
Grapes? I don't know.
You can float your barracks a little bit more quickly to scout your
Yeah,
enemy.
this is one of the big things is because, you know, the Marines are very temporary in TVT. You just get enough so that you can safely get into mech or expand, for instance. And so the barracks ends up taking in this role of kind of like a scouting overlord because you just don't have any use for it, so you might as well lift it up and send it out. And of course, having it more towards the middle means you're going to get that initial scout off first. So it does give you the option to maybe try to respond or react in a certain way.
Yeah.
And by the way, Light is about to throw that CC down here.
Yeah, he's going for the gasless expand, and Flash is a little bit lucky to scout him first here. That means he's going to be able to put on some additional pressure with the rallied Marines from the forward 11 racks. And that's going to just screw up Light's build a little bit. We already talked
Cualquier
about
otro
that
Terran,
some from the first map
Light le
Overwatch
ganaba, weón.
and how that
Que el
kind of
ataque le
works
tocó
out.
Flash.
This is the same
A cualquier otro
type of
Terran
idea. So,
le ganaba, weón.
Flash,
Jugando así como
in
jugó.
this situation, likely going to go right into a siege tank as well to hit the bunker.
Right. So we're going to have this initial SCV come out here, along with that Marine. He has not stopped making Marines here. I'm sorry, does Light make a second Marine?
Yes, he will.
Okay. Is
And
there a number that you want to stop on either side here, or is it just sort of...
Light just wants to stay alive and get a bunker up.
Right.
He doesn't need to get like 4 or something. Okay, Flash has decided, I guess, on... He canceled...
I don't know what just happened
canceled
there.
the 3rd. So if you cancel at the very last second, it's just the Marine is like coming out at that moment, but it's not actually complete, and so it just dies.
Oh, got it.
But you
Okay.
get the 50 minerals back.
I was so confused there for a second.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's-
what?
I think that only happens with
That
with
only
Terran.
happens. Yeah, that only happens with Terran. Yeah. Because I was actually doing a double take there. I thought, I'm like, did an SCV kill the Marine, or did I see
it's-
something right?
It's normal. It happens sometimes. It's just the very last second that you can cancel it at.
Basically, it literally terminates the little Marine object as it pops out.
So yeah, Flash has just a couple Marines right now. Of course, those can be used a little bit later. They can stop the scouting SCV and then maybe push a Wraith away from the siege tanks that are likely to be hitting the bunker. And Light gonna go into a second factory, it looks like. Now,
There it is now.
Now this starts to get very exciting and interesting for me, because this is like a, you know, the game. The more standard the game gets, the more that us plebs can learn from it, right? This is a ladder map, okay? Now, I'm not sure what upgrade Flash is getting right now, because against gasless, you can actually go Vulture against that if you want. You don't have to go for the siege tank. Okay, he is going Vulture. Okay, cool. So he's going to be getting either speed or mines here.
You know, there's this funny thing for us as casters, because, like, there are some maps that are so interesting, but, you know, maybe for us as players, we're less interested. We're on a more standard map.
Yeah.
People like you and I can, and probably a lot of the people that are watching, that watch these games to learn and study, sometimes want the games on the more standard laddery
Oh, absolutely.
like maps, you know.
That's
Like
a beautiful thing about KSL. I'm like, oh, I can steal everything.
Yeah, no, it's funny because like a map like Sparkle, I am curious to see what the best players in the world do on it, but like Sparkle ain't going to be in the world for a long time, you know. So what we find there is interesting, but maybe not applicable to other maps.
Yeah.
In the more traditional sense.
So right now, looking at this game, Flash's position's pretty cool. Okay, he's gotten his speed.
Julio pesado,
He
man.
has map control right now. He's picking off a few SCVs here and there. That's really nice. He's trying not to lose vultures. He might lose one running in to kill that SCV another time.
That's so cool. Perfectly done. Does not lose.
Wow.
Does not lose a vulture yet.
Well, you can't target with Marines in a bunker, so it makes sense. But yeah, the siege tank is out. Okay, not too much more he can do with those. I'd be surprised if he doesn't get mines, but I think what he wants to do right here, especially getting such a great scout off, is just get siege tanks.
Yeah.
And again, if he can maintain this map control, and either, I mean, if you can get it to contain outside of their natural because there's a ledge there, it's so insanely powerful. Because nothing can get up to the siege tanks that are at the ledge. So if he does that, that's amazing. I don't think Light will allow him to do that, but...
Ya, después sigo viendo esta wea.